Hello everybody, good afternoon. It is Pudge here and I have one question for you. Did you know that this week is Mental Health First Aid Wellbeing Week? For this feature we have teamed up with the Plus Positive People Devon team, Healthscape and the Hele Merbabes group. Plus Positive People is supported by the Lottery Community Fund and the European Social Fund. We're going to be talking about the benefits of open water sea swimming for mental health. I'm now pleased to be joined by Terry, who runs the Hele Merbabes group, and Mental Health Swims Ilfracombe, and advocate of swimmer, Hele. Hello, how are you both doing?
Hi, good, thank you.
Really good, thank you very much.
It's lovely to have you both on the show. I'm just going to get the elephant in the room out of the way. Please excuse the voice. It's been a long weekend. Been a lot of shouting. I'd like to start with you, Terry, if that's okay. You set up the Hele Merbabes group on Facebook. Can you tell us how and why did you set this up?
Okay, now I would hate to be somebody to correct anybody, but I'm just going to say they're called the Hele Merbabes.
I knew I'd get that wrong. I do apologise.
We get very protective over Hele or Hele. Hele Merbabes. So it came about by accident, really. I had started sea swimming myself, and I had a group of friends that just kept saying to me, "Oh, can you let me know when you're going swimming?" And that group of friends got to about 10 people.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, I can't keep texting or phoning all these people every time I want to go for a swim. So I just set the Facebook page up. And now there's like near on 700 people on that Facebook page. It's a massive community now. And I had no idea it was going to do that. No idea at all. But it's been a fun time.
I'm kind of glad you switched from texting people to Facebook, because that you wouldn't get a chance to go in the end of the day and finish texting everybody. How quickly has that sort of come about, going from just a few people to 700?
So I set it up in I think it was like the beginning of October 2019, and it very quickly grew. It grew quite quickly, to be honest, to about 100 people. And then it just steadily grew until lockdown happened. When we went into lockdown, I think I was swimming most days, that was my exercise, and taking my GoPro, so was posting a few photos, and it just exploded. I think it's the thing to do. I think it's very popular, in the UK, let alone just in our little part of Devon where we are.
Absolutely. So, I must admit, I love to go for a swim myself. So does my other half. Being so close to the shore, it's just the thing to do, isn't it? So on average, on an actual swim, obviously you've got about 700 members, did you say? How many people do you get coming to you on an actual swim?
If we post a swim as a group swim, the last one we did, there was probably near on 40 people with a few children in as well. So yeah, I think there's a group of us that tend to all try and swim together quite regularly. And I'd say there's probably a good solid 20 of us. But then we often get lots of other people coming down when we post an actual group swim. But this morning I swam in the bay at 7:45, and there was probably about 10 or 12 of us this morning.
Wow.
Quite a few for a 7:45 swim.
I was going to say, I wasn't even awake then. Absolutely amazing.
Your day with an early morning swim is it's just the best way. Love it.
I think the only thing that worries me more about the waking up is the cold at that point, but you soon get used to it. I know that. Now, other than, obviously there's a lot of benefits physically. Have you noticed the benefits of swimming on your mental health?
Do you know what? So I'm a hairdresser, quite a busy hairdresser under normal circumstances. So when lockdown happened and I wasn't working, that affected me massively. It really. I've never not worked in my life, so I just had I felt a bit lost at first. Had no idea what to do with myself. So I honestly think for me, without the swimming, I think I would have struggled so much more with lockdown. I'm also a lady of a certain age that is starting the menopause, so that's really helping me through the menopause as well. So for me personally, it's helped me through lockdown and helping me through menopause.
Well, that's fantastic. If it's working for so many reasons, it's only positive, positive on positive. So would you recommend swimming to other people?
Oh, I do. I mean, this is why I think the group has grown so much. I probably do bore people because I think I tell everybody that I see swim. So yeah, I'm always encouraging whenever anybody, any of my customers or anybody that I speak to, I'm always bigging up the benefits of sea swimming. I totally know what it does for me. So and my friends that I've met through swimming, I know what it does for them. So I'm the biggest fan of getting in and letting the sea do its job of supporting you and making you feel better.
I couldn't agree more. I don't swim near as much as I want to, but when I do, it's just so calming and relaxing. I find when I come out, I feel very, very different, much better, no matter what's going on in the day of the week. I couldn't agree with you more. Remind me again, how do you say that the first part of the name? Is it Hele?
Hele.
Hele.
Yeah, Hele.
Thank you, just before I forget. So the Hele Merbabes group, is it a women-only group?
No, so I'm very much like, it's called Merbabes. I think babes have no gender, can be male or female. So we definitely get those men in now. However, we still find it's very much dominated by females, and I'm not sure why that is, because the sea is for everyone. Maybe it's because we're slightly hardier. I don't know.
I'm not getting involved in that one whatsoever. I'm not taking the bait. I'm just going to continue straight on. I will come back to you, Terry, in a minute, but I'm going to just sidestep and go on to Hele now. Just perfectly timed there. Hi, Hele. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks, Pudge. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. That sometimes questions are perfectly timed. You open water swim. Why did you start?
I've always loved the sea. I've grown up in Ilfracombe, which is the town attached to Hele Bay, and I've grown up down by the harbour side. So I've always just loved the calming effects that the sea has on me, and I've always loved swimming. So that would be my exercise of choice, really. So I've always been a bit of a fair weather swimmer. So I'll swim through the summer. And in the warmer weather, and then generally would have stopped around October time. But last year, with Terry and the Merbabes' help, I decided that I was going to continue to swim through the colder seasons. Oof. And brave that colder weather. And just hooked, really, and can't imagine not doing it now. I try and do it as much as I possibly can around work and the children, although in the warmer weather I'm getting the children in with me, which is great. But just try and do it, and I just can't imagine it not being a part of my life now.
I've got to ask, is there not any times that it's just a little bit too cold and you think, actually, I'll not go in today, or you get there and it's just like, no thanks?
I have to admit, I'm always the last one in. So even when I'm the one that's sort of saying to a group of friends, like, "Oh yeah, come on, let's go and swim," I'm always the one at the back, tiptoeing, trying to avoid getting cold. But I do know, obviously, that once you're in, you just get that moment of absolute satisfaction, and then you can't get me out. Then I want to stay in, and I'm the last one out. But for me personally, it doesn't matter how many times you do it through summer or winter, it still always feels cold. But I think that's part of the reason it has such a benefit on your mental health, because part of it is just overcoming that fear, that barrier, and having that sense of achievement afterwards.
That's absolutely lovely. And other than that, what benefits have you noticed yourself, and what difference has swimming made on your life?
Yeah, it's made a massive difference. I've always sort of suffered with my mental health since a young age, really. But I would say that last year I reached a point where I found it really challenging to manage my mental health problems, and if I sort of look at myself now and then, I don't think I'd recognise myself last year, because this year, having done lots of different things, including the swimming, to manage my mental health, I'm a different person, really. I've just got a few notes here, actually, because I had some. I was having counselling and things last year, because I really was struggling, and we wrote down all the different things that were helping me manage my mental health. And swimming actually came out with the most benefits. Obviously, I've got things like the counselling and medication, but the swimming, for a start, just got me out of the house. It got me outside. And I know that there were points last year that if it wasn't for my friends and the Merbabes saying, right, meet me here at 9 o'clock tomorrow after you've taken the kids to school, then I would have just gone back home and stayed in bed for the day. So, it just got me out of the house, into nature, into fresh air. Obviously, I said about that adrenaline of, oh my God, I'm absolutely freezing. And you get that adrenaline rush. But then that oxytocin kicks in, and then it's just like, I'm so happy, and you really do get that. I know Terry calls it that moment when you're in the sea, you really, really do. And also, there would be times where I don't want to talk to anyone, not even through text or anything, but it just helped with that social engagement and keeping me socially engaged with people. And I often find that once I'm in the water, that's when I was talking the most about what I was going through or how I was feeling. I'd feel very anxious and tense and sort of clam up. But I'd get into that sea and I'd start swimming and it would all just come out, and I'd chat, and I knew that I could chat to these people that I were with. And, I've made contact with so many other people who have had similar struggles to myself, and use that as a support network as well, and checking in on each other and how are you doing, so it's I just can't explain how much of a wider impact it has had on my mental health.
It is really heartwarming to hear all of that you've just said. I must admit, I think that moment you talk about, for me, is when I finally dip my head under, I've had the courage to do it, and I finally feel the full weightlessness. And I don't know about you, that's when I feel like I'm more relaxed and you feel more able to talk about things that quite feel as heavy.
Yeah.
But to hear everything you've just said, it's so lovely to know that you and so many other people now have got this way to deal with things going on in your life. Now, I'm going to ask the same question that I asked before, and I think I know the answer. Would you recommend swimming to other people?
Yeah, absolutely. And like Terry, I think everyone I meet and get talking to, I'm like, did you know I go sea swimming? Did you? and if I'll say, oh, you should try it. You should just come in and try it. And I've had friends who I have suggested it to, who have come along, and now they're in the same position. There's no stopping them. They're like, wow. And they're going off on their own sort of journey with their swimming, and, going at time, not just coming with me, but going and actually, reaching out to the other Merbabes and stuff and saying, I'd love to come with you. So I think that's, a real credit to the group as well, that it's not that, it's quite easy for some groups to become quite cliquey. And I really feel that the Merbabes is really open and inclusive to everybody. There's not that. I personally don't feel any of that anxiety, that social anxiety of, I can't go with them because they go, and everybody's just in it together for their own reasons, and it's just really great. Yeah.
Fantastic stuff, Hele. Thank you very much. I'm going to move now back to Terry, if you're still there. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, still here.
So could you tell us about your mental health swims at Ilfracombe events?
Yes. So I set up mental health swims in Ilfracombe probably about a year ago now, but couldn't really at the beginning get it off the ground because of all the different lockdowns and things that were happening. And then I think coming out of the last lockdown is when we started up properly. and I hold those swims. So it's part of Mental Health Swims, which is which are nationwide, and we have hosts, or they have hosts in all over the country. And all we do is just say when we can host a swim, and I post those swims onto social media, and people can just come down and experience a swim either for the first time or just knowing that they're with a lot of like-minded people that are swimming purely just to get the benefits of what the sea can do for you, but in a very safe and comfortable environment. And we just stop and we have a chat, we have cake, we might do a beach clean. But it's, we just do that once a month, have a little meet up, and they sell out. I mean, not that you pay for them, but we do get people to book onto them. And they're a good little thing to do, definitely. Really enjoy that. And I'm really pleased to say now that Hele has just become a host as well. Hey. And does that with me in Hele Bay. So cool.
Fantastic stuff. Oh, that's really good to hear. And I think, like you said, knowing that you've got like-minded people there is a big help for people to take that step and go for it. And talking of the events, did you start these?
Yeah. So for the Ilfracombe area, I just applied to be a host with Mental Health Swims, saying that I would like, because I was pretty much doing that with the Merbabes a lot anyway. But it's good to have the backing of the Mental Health Swims to support that. And I just applied to be a host. They accepted me, and I set it up in Hele.
Blimey, perfect. Job done. Got on with it. So how many people go on average?
So 15, I just keep the numbers quite low. So we just say when it gets to 15, try not to have any more. And then there's a few Merbabes that will come down and help me. It's not just me or Hele. A few of the others come down and help as well. So there's always a nice group of people, so that everybody can have their chats without feeling like a bit conscious that you're all chatting to one person. So it's a really nice little group when we get together. I really enjoy those. Really enjoy them.
It's lovely to hear how careful you've been around making sure people aren't feeling too worried about, like you said, not all talking to one person. You're really trying to make it so everyone gets their own time, and also in some sort of like distance from other people, so they're not feeling so watched, I suppose. Going along the same sort of lines, for anyone who's looking to get into swimming but might be feeling a little nervous still, do you have any advice for those people?
I would definitely say just reach out, take that plunge. The good thing about the Merbabes page, or even the Mental Health Swims, is we just post when and where, and it's always an open invite to anyone. And I 100% know that feeling of when you do something for the first time. It can be so nerve-wracking. And a lot of time that will stop you from going. However, if you can just make yourself go, the Merbabes isn't just about me. It definitely is not just about me. I was just, that person that started that group. The people the swimming community, and I think I've got some friends on Instagram that I've never even met, but they're swimming pals. I just think the swimming community is just so warm and friendly. And I think because we all know the benefits of it and how much good it does us, I think everybody just champions everyone, and they're just, everyone wants everyone to experience what we're doing. So I would just say to anyone, just try and be brave. If it's something you really, really want to do, just try and be brave and go down there, because you will be received with open arms and a warm sea. I might be lying about that bit.
Perfect, thank you. So how can people get involved with the Hele Merbabes group and the Mental Health Swims Ilfracombe?
Okay, so they're both of those have Facebook and Instagram pages. So if they would, I think on Facebook, they're both private groups. But if you just search it out on Facebook, and then on Instagram, they are public groups. And any swims are posted in either of those two of when people might be meeting. And it isn't that we always meet in a massive group. It could be that, like, I was swimming this morning, but then during the day there could be 5 other people that are swimming at different times. So it's quite nice. If somebody's posting that they're swimming, they're posting to say anyone's welcome to come along, or I need some company. So just check out the Facebook and the called Hele Merbabes and Mental Health Swims Ilfracombe.
Perfect. Well,
Check out.
ladies, thank you both for joining us, Hele and Terry. And obviously, guys, if you'd like to find out more, you can search Mental Health Swims Ilfracombe on Instagram or Hele Merbabes group on Facebook, as just mentioned. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us. We're now going to have a short video about Terry's thoughts on sea swimming.
Getting in the sea makes me feel totally amazing. I feel strong, I feel powerful, I feel happy, I feel elated. Any other positive words you can think of is how getting in the sea makes me feel. It's very strange. You just feel a sense of freedom. You've got nothing else to think about. Your mind just clears and you're just in that moment. Really, really magical. It's made me change how I feel about how I look, about how my body looks. Another side to that is that I feel strong. I have achieved so much. From when I first started, I used to just paddle about in the bay, swimbling, we call it, where we're just pootling about in the bay, not going out of our depth really, to now I'm swimming front crawl with swim hat, goggles and a tow float, in my skin still, but we swim regularly, about 1k, so I can't help but feel fit, but feel strong, feel powerful and literally feel amazing. It's making me want to keep improving on that, keep getting better and keep pushing myself to try harder. And it's probably been the only exercise in my nearly 50 years that I honestly feel like I can't stop doing that now. There's an absolute need. I have to get in the sea and see if I can do better every single time. I have met so many friends and so many people that love the sea just as much as I do, and some of these people I would consider my absolute best friends now. It's been very hard because of lockdown, because we've not been able to do the things that you normally do with your friends, like go out for meals, go to the pubs for drinks, just see each other socially. But the good thing about having the Merbabes is that we have been able to do and get to know each other because we have been meeting up for swims. We all pull together, we all champion each other. Everybody wants everyone else to do really well and enjoy what they're doing, and if someone's having a bit of a bad day, you can just tell and people will rally around, and we all look out for each other, and we all just make sure that if anyone is having a bad day, that there is somebody that will always swim with them, that will always buddy up with them, so that they can get their sea fix. The change in my confidence of getting in the sea is I'm generally always the first changed, and I'm generally always the first in the sea, and that's I just can't believe that I do that. It's been pretty incredible really, that I have no fear about just getting my kit off, getting my clothes off and getting in the sea. And when I see that we have new members that have recently joined the group and they first come down for a swim, it really puts me back there to that first day that I started swimming. And we just look out for them and we just make sure they're okay. We keep reassuring them, and we all support one another. I started swimming after living here for 2.5 years, and if I have any regrets in life, it's that I never started sea swimming sooner. I can't believe that it took me 2.5 years to get in the sea, because now, 1.5 years down the line of sea swimming, you can't get me out of it. And one of the good things to come out of being in lockdown, for me, I guess, is that I'm able to swim every single day. And when life does go back to normal, I think I'm very much going to miss being able to swim just whenever I want to. Sea swimming is a massive part of my life now, and is something that I will continue. I think it impacts my life in as much as everything I do, everywhere I go, I'll always be, is there somewhere I can get into some open water, whether that be the sea, a river, a lake or a pond. I just need some water that's outside that I can swim in, and I'll be happy. So it has completely and utterly changed my life for the better.
Welcome back. What a lovely video from Terry there. Now, have you heard of Healthscape? I'm pleased to share with you a birthday video montage showcasing some of the work that they do, following by a conversation with Guy from Healthscape and Charlotte Jones from Plus discussing sea swimming.
I've just watched your birthday video montage. It looks like Healthscape helps a lot of people. Can you tell us how you got involved in Healthscape and what it's all about?
Absolutely. So Healthscape is a community interest company based here in Torbay. We now have a variety of hubs across Devon. We have Teignmouth, Plymouth and Exmouth as well, not just in Torbay anymore. It started a year ago, and like you say, you just watched our birthday video. And been going a year, going strong, really enjoying what it's doing.
Amazing. So how did you yourself get involved in Healthscape?
I'm actually one of the founders. I'm one of the 3 directors that currently sit on the board. Myself, Paul, we've just had a new director come on board called Sue. We are very passionate about what we do, but one of the main things of Healthscape is we are mental health, and that is what we focus solely on around. And me and my journey with mental health, and my wife and family and friends, mental health's become this massive kind of snowball now, and Healthscape can help with that, and that's why it started. It started off as firstly a little bit of fun, and then rapidly changed into helping people for the better.
Wow, amazing. So what benefits do you find from sea swimming?
Oh, the benefits are huge. So there's loads of different chemicals you get going on when you get into the sea. You got the endorphins. This is your well-being chemical. This is what makes you feel happy, elated, gives you that sense of purpose, makes you feel alive, and that's a great chemical to have. The other one is noradrenaline. This one makes you feel a little bit more alert, like things are going on. It's part of the chemical in the fight or flight response you get if you're scared or nervous about something. This chemical is really good for bringing out that alertness, that sense of awareness and sense of your surroundings, so a heightened sense of everything. What that also brings is a heightened sense of happiness and thrill, which is great as well. And my personal favourite from one of the benefits of the sea is cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. You know, when you get those butterflies, you get these feelings of fear, anxiety, that's all linked to cortisol. Now, when you get into the sea, more and more and more, or just into cold water in general, you get more and more cortisol release. What that does is that actually desensitizes you from cortisol. So those once stomach churning fear settings that you might have been in before eventually won't become much of a problem. You'll just sail through it because you've desensitized from cortisol.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. I think I've always feared that word, to be honest. But yeah, that's amazing to know that. So how many people have you helped then, Guy?
Currently, to date, just shy of 3,500 people, and that's through lockdown alone. We anticipate that's going to grow. You know, we've been through one pandemic. I reckon now we're going to hit the pandemic of mental health, and that's going to be a big issue for a lot of organisations to deal with. But we are recruiting more and more volunteers. We're opening more hubs. We're looking for sponsorship for more hubs so we can help more people across Devon and indeed across the UK. But yeah, 3,500 people to date, over 300. I think it's 354 events in that time.
Oh, amazing. So if we've got individuals come forward, Guy, how can they get involved with volunteering with like yourselves really at Healthscape?
So with volunteering, people can just apply to us directly, tell us they want to be a volunteer. We'll then do some training. We'll go do some checks. We'll, get everyone set up and ready. We have hub managers at the hubs, and then they have their own set of volunteers that they kind of sub-manage as well with our support. But yeah, it's a great way for people to meet new people. We've helped combat loneliness and isolation, whether they've come as a participant or as a volunteer or indeed as a hub manager. Some of our volunteers were once members that have actually now found this new purpose. And we've given them more reason to carry on doing what they're doing to aid their recovery. Out of it, they get some training and everything else. They lose that kind of feeling of being shy. They just blow up and excel in what they're doing.
I must admit, it's trying to get those individuals that maybe like myself who would be a little bit more shy with the water. I'm not naturally confident at going in the sea. I'm really intrigued because I want the health benefits. I want the positive on my mental health as well. So how would you encourage those individuals that might be a little bit more shy to get in the water?
So we have 2 different types of sessions. Fundamentally, we have a free session. These sessions tend to be a lot bigger, a lot more relaxed. This is great for people that have done the smaller sessions, and the smaller sessions really bring people out. There's a small fee. Again, it's waiverable if people can't afford it. If affordability is an issue, we always tend to those people. We try and include everybody we can in what we do. So if affordability is an issue, please don't worry about it. And then it's just a case of once you've paid, or you come along, you meet the team, you meet other volunteers, other participants who, they're in the same boat. They've come for the same exact reason you have, and that's a great talking point. The beauty is when you get into the sea, we create what we don't create it. The sea does it for us. It's what we call the happy triangle, where three people who don't know each other just start chatting rubbish with each other. And it's like somebody sat on the TV channel. It's just constantly changing channels. Just loads of random stuff's coming out, especially through the winter when it's much colder. And then you get out and you're smiling ear from ear. All those fears, I said, you've got the cortisol, the noradrenaline, the endorphins, all that takes over. And then you just get out smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, brilliant. So if there's any individuals listening today and they're really intrigued and they want to get it in the water and they want to get involved with Healthscape, what would you say? What have they got to do? Have they got to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. You can go to the Healthscape website, so it's www.healthscape.cic.co.uk, or you can search us on Facebook. If you search Healthscape CIC, you'll find us there. Drop us a follow and then send us a message. If you're looking to volunteer, just put my name. My name's Guy. Just put my name and I'll pick that up as soon as I see it pop up, and we'll go from there. As a participant, Healthscape website, events, book. That easy. It is so easy to do, but you must book online before you come along. This is just for insurances and everything else.
So have you got any events that are coming up?
Absolutely. So we have, I think we run across Healthscape about 15 dips a week. It's 4 different locations, and that includes snorkeling, paid sessions for different varieties of activities, and our normal free sessions as well. And that's across all the hubs.
I did notice as well, you've got the therapy sessions, the underwater therapy sessions. Could you just tell me a little bit more about those?
I absolutely can. So the underwater sessions are a snorkel session. They're an add-on to the snorkel session. They are coming to an end sort of September time, middle of September, mainly because it's too cold, you get brain freeze. But the idea is the whole ethos behind it is we teach you how to snorkel using our kit. We've got hundreds of pounds worth of kit that people can come and use for a very, very small fee. And then they can progress then onto the underwater therapy. And it's the same kit, but it's got cameras on top. And the idea is you go down, you film your entire experiences. We find fish, we find crabs, we find different types of seagrass, seahorses. The occasional seal has been known to pop up. I went down the other day, caught a crab, came up, I showed everyone, I was like, oh, I caught a crab. And then I looked down and there was a seal with his head on my fin, as if to say that's my lunch. And we get that a lot. We do bump into the wildlife a lot, but then we are in their element and in their home. But the idea is then we take that footage away, we edit it, we compress it down to a minute's footage, and we send it to everyone so that they have that to look back on, reflect on in those days where, we've all been there where it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to go to the shops, do the school run, the things we need to do. And the idea is you can look at that 1 minute clip in the morning. And if you did that every morning, you're empowering yourself to realize actually you can go and do this. You do have that ability.
I feel empowered just hearing you, Guy, to be honest. Thank you so much, Guy. It's been fantastic. It's been really lovely learning about Healthscape. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Not a problem. Been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
That was great to hear from Guy and Charlotte about Healthscape there, and obviously you can check them out on Facebook. Thank you very much to Plus Positive People, Hele Merbabes Group, Mental Health Swims Ilfracombe and Healthscape for discussing the positives of sea swimming for mental health first aid Wellbeing Week. See you soon.